Welcome to Hunting with HECS.
Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. This week we're going to be doing some traveling. First we go to Great Texas Hunts down in Texas, where we meet up with Toby Gangler and Chad Harrison from Switchback Outdoors. Then we head to Kansas to chase some of that state's legendary whitetails. We were hoping to see some really good whitetail bucks, and we weren't disappointed. As always, there's lots of close-up action, and it's all coming your way right here on Hunting with HECS.
Closing the distance, calmer game, better shots, happier memories. It's what we all crave. It's what we all desire. It's what we all dream about. The close-range, fair chase encounter with wild game is the essence of the hunting experience. Join us as we chronicle the evolution of concealment, testing skill, knowledge, technology, and equipment, becoming the ultimate close-range predator. Own the close-up experience here on Hunting with HECS.
Well, as you know, if you've been watching the show, every year we give away a free hunt to the best viewer-submitted video that we use on our HECS close-up piece. This year, Toby Gangler and Chad Harrison from Switchback Outdoors won with this stellar piece of bobcat footage. They were set up calling coyotes when this huge bobcat showed up. You know, cats are one of the most tuned-in predators on the planet, but this cat walks within feet of two guys wearing their HECS suits. His complete lack of reaction and almost bewilderment showcases the HECS effect in action once again. As you can see, this cat's looking around, looking for the source of the calling, but appears to be looking right through the guys. This is a perfect example of how, by blocking your electrical signal using HECS stealth screen, you can appear more like an inanimate object in the environment. Obviously, the guys aren't invisible, but this cat plainly doesn't have any idea that he's looking at two hunters sitting only feet away from him. This cat's obviously confused by what its senses are telling it, but it finally decides to head back the way it came. But even then, it just calmly walks away, wondering what just happened. Well, this was a great testament of how well HECS technology really works, and it won Toby and Chad the free hunt out at Alan Warren's Great Texas Hunts near San Antonio. My daughter Caitlin and I were also hunting the ranch and pushing the limits as we always do.
Hunting with HECS is brought to you by Game Hide. Hunting wear is all we do. NorthAmericanHuntingCompetition.com. Have you entered yet? Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls and UC Hunting Properties. PSE Archery. Gold Tip, the toughest arrow you'll ever shoot. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Trophy Taker and Spot Hog. And by HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
While Toby was hunting another area of the ranch, I decided to push the limits of my HECS suit and sit out in the wide open just by a scraggly little tree out on my chair and just see what I could get away with these whitetail. Well, this was going to be a true test of the effectiveness of my HECS suit. You know, whitetails are super wary, and normally sitting out in the open in plain view of the deer would have them blowing up before they ever got in bow range. These deer knew there was something different in the environment, but after looking me over, they came right in anyway. You know, by blocking that electrical field, I looked more like a benign object and no threat to these bucks. Well, you know, this is a good buck and really just exactly what we were looking for on this hunt. But Alan told me that there was a huge old management 8-point that had been used in this area. So being the first day, I decided to pass. Well, I'm really hoping I didn't make the wrong decision.
Hi, I'm Riley Elliott, marine biologist.
And I'm Forrest Galante, wildlife expert.
Now, we want to show you how the HECS technology blocks 95% of your body's electrical signals given off by muscle movement.
What we have here is a scientific instrument capable of measuring the electrical magnetic energy leaving the muscle groups of the body.
Now, we're going to get Forrest to put his arm over top of a signal sensor. Now, as he does this, you'll see that the needle goes all the way off the scale, registering that energy his body's given out. Now, when we apply the HECS fabric, which is a carbon yarn put into this material that is specifically designed for the human wavelength of energy we go off, you'll see that this needle barely moves.
It's basically the same technology that's in the door of your microwave.
Which is called the Faraday cage. As he goes over, the needle barely registers. Being a shark scientist working with animals that specifically pick up electrical energy to detect prey or predators, I've seen significant reduction in their threat displays or in their approach distances, allowing me to get more natural and closer encounters. And for anyone else wearing this suit or this technology, I think will have the same effect too.
If you order right now and enter the promo code PURSUIT, you'll save an instant $30 off your HECS suit.
There's a lot more whitetail action coming up right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. When we left, the crew was hunting whitetails at Great Texas Hunts in, well, you guessed it, Texas. They're hunting with Tony Gangler from Switchback Outdoors, who won the hunt for his amazing close-up encounter with a bobcat. Now, let's get back to the hunt.
My daughter Caitlin and I were trading off between camera and bow, and it was Caitlin's turn behind the bow the next evening. It wasn't long before she had a shooter buck headed her way. With Caitlin's deer on the ground, I decided to get serious about shooting one as well. I'm in a new spot with some great pictures that have been seen on the trail camera close by. With Caitlin behind the camera, it wasn't long before we had deer all over us. You know, we were covered up in whitetail on this set, and every once in a while one of them would see us and lock up on us for a few seconds. We were basically in plain view of the deer. But as we've seen time and time again with HECS, they lock on us for a few seconds, then go back to feeding. You know, I never get tired of seeing this HECS effect in action out in the field. Well, you know, there are some really good bucks here, but I'm on a management hunt, so I have to leave those big boys alone. Finally, a good management 8-point comes in off to my right. Some of these deer are only 20 yards away, but I'm able to come to full draw without any problem at all.
Oh, that was cool. All those deer hair. Broad daylight right in the open. We got to full draw. Put a good shot on that buck.
Well, Toby Gangler was hunting a different part of the ranch, and he was having a good night as well.
Super stoked. My first whitetail buck. Obviously my first Texas deer, period. So I couldn't be more happy.
It's been a lot of fun having you guys. You know, like I said, they won the video contest with the Bobcat video and ended up getting a real nice whitetail. Hunters across the country and around the world are raving about the experiences that they're seeing while using their HECS suits. You know, science has found that animals, birds, and fish are able to pick up on minor electrical changes in their electrical environment. A lot of the initial study was done on how birds, animals, and fish navigate. It's what really runs the internal compass. They're picking up that minor change in the Earth's electromagnetic field. Well, every living being also creates an electrical field that's very similar. Through heart rate and muscle movement, we're creating electrical fields that are traveling distance, and we now know that that's one of the ways when animals get in close, they know that they're close to another big living being. That's when the other senses go on alert and things get real tough if you're out there in the hunting woods. If you look closely at the fabric, you'll see a highly electrically conductive carbon yarn woven in a specific grid pattern. This electrically conductive carbon yarn is sized and shaped to block the electrical energy that's created by our body. By blocking these electrical fields, you're going to look more like an inanimate object than you ever thought possible. You know, visual camo and scent control is still important, but the HECS technology gives you an advantage that you've never had before. If you haven't experienced the HECS advantage for yourself, don't delay. Get a HECS suit on the way, because it's going to make a difference in your next hunt.
If you order right now and enter the promo code PURSUIT, you'll save an instant $30 off your HECS suit.
As an added bonus, if you order right now, with each purchase of a complete HECS suit, you'll receive a certificate worth $250 off on a trip with Great Texas Hunts. When we come back, we'll leave Texas in the rearview mirror and head east to Kansas, where the HECS crew encounters some of that state's legendary whitetails. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. So far, we've seen some impressive whitetail encounters with the crew hunting at Great Texas Hunts. Now we catch up to the guys as they head to Kansas in search of some of that state's legendary whitetails.
HECS CEO Scott Eastman and I were both hunting in Kansas, and in true HECS tradition, we were hunting on the ground with archery gear. Well, the spot I hunted first was on a travel corridor in a river bottom, and it wasn't long before I had a decent buck moving my way. Well, this is a nice buck, and he gave me plenty of time to look him over at point blank range. But I'd seen some whopper buck pictures on trail cameras. I knew there were a lot better deer in the area, so I decided to pass. This buck walks by the blind at only 10 steps. Remember, there are two of us in this blind, myself and Caitlin, who was my cameraman. The buck was totally clueless that there was anybody in the area. You've heard it before, but this is the HECS benefit in action once again. You know, a big animal, particularly a mature whitetail, inside of 20 yards usually goes on high alert in short notice. But if you're wearing HECS, you can get away with much more than you ever thought possible. Well, I'd spent a few more days in the same blind, but the big boys never showed up. So I decided to take a little drive just to see what I could learn. Luckily, I saw a great deer feeding out in the open, and we quickly popped up a blind in the area. I climbed in and hunted it that same day. The plan worked perfectly. Keep in mind, we just popped this blind up that day, but the deer plainly didn't even care. By blocking your electrical signal, we were able to blend in with our environment, and the results speak for themselves.
Punched him. He's done. Well, that didn't take long at all. Real nice 10-point buck.
Wow. And I mean, he's a warrior. He's broke off here. Unfortunately, he's broke off a little here. He's broke off a little there, but just a big old heavy 10-point buck. Exactly what you're looking for. Almost touches in the middle. He's cool. Just a great Kansas buck.
And now, it's time for this week's HECS Close-Up.
This week's HECS Close-Up comes from Jim Brennan. Jim is a professional guide who uses HECS and won't hunt without it.
I just came back from my bear hunt in Saskatchewan, and I punched the tag on my biggest bear ever.
Whew, that's a big bear. Oh man.
You can see in the video, the bear kind of knew something was up, but I was wearing my HECS. And I firmly believe in the HECS system. I've been wearing it for 5 or 6 years now, and I've been able to punch a lot more tags. I guide full-time for a living, and I make sure I'm always wearing it. And my hunters, if they have it, I make sure they wear it as well. If not, I tell them about it. And we've killed a lot more animals wearing the HECS. You still have to hunt smart and use the wind, but when the animals are in close, they just don't perceive you as a threat. And I've had great results on turkeys, bears, elk, deer, everything I've chased. So give HECS a try. It's an awesome bear. He's got great character with that face being rubbed like that. He'll probably be close to a 7-foot bear. It's hard to say. We're going to take a look at it and maybe weigh it, but it's definitely my biggest bear by far.
Thanks again to Jim Brennan for bringing us this week's HECS Close-Up. Well, I'd like to take a few minutes to discuss the HECS product line. First off is our basic HECS suit. This is the basic suit that's been used by hunters all around the world and had amazing success. It comes shirt, pant, and head cover all together. Very lightweight, very easy to use. You can use it as an underlayer or over. The HECS technology works either way. We tried to design this piece to be used in just about any hunting situation. The pants are cut kind of like sweatpants. They do have an elastic top, a drawstring, elastic cuffs on the bottom, and a fly, and hip pockets in case you want to wear them as an outer layer. The shirt is basically a long sleeve t-shirt, but it does have thumb holes so it's easy to get on underneath, has serge stitching for added durability, and a nice embroidered HECS logo. The head net has a laser cut eye hole, drawstring in the back. It's very simple and very easy to use.
If you order right now and enter the promo code PURSUIT, you'll save an instant $30 off your HECS suit.
As an added bonus, if you order right now, with each purchase of a complete HECS suit, you'll receive a certificate worth $250 off on a trip with Great Texas Hunts. So far, we've seen some amazing whitetail encounters wearing the HECS stealth screen. But we've saved the best for last, and it's all coming up right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. This week, the crew is on a whitetail pilgrimage that has taken them from the brush-covered country of Texas, where they arrowed several nice deer, and finally to Kansas, where HECS founder and our intrepid host, Mike Slinkard, already has a great buck on the ground.
Scott had set his blind on a huge trail that was leading from the deer's feeding to bedding area. Well, Scott had two big problems. First, to get into a place where he could shoot, he had to set his blind in the wide open grassy area.
Tonight's the night.
Also, it was upwind of the trail. Normally, these would have been insurmountable problems and would have made your chances of seeing a deer just about zero. Well, Scott isn't new to this game. He got into the blind, fired up the ozonic unit. Both he and his camera guys are dressed head to toe in HECS stealth screen to make the blind appear more like just another inanimate object to the deer. Well, as the old saying goes, the proof's in the pudding, and it wasn't long before Scott was covered up in whitetail. Once again, we see deer basically ignoring the blind that Scott had set there earlier that same day. They're directly downwind and in full view of that blind out in the wide open grass, yet they go about their business like there isn't anything out of the ordinary. Well, Scott was seeing a lot of deer in the area, but he was holding out for something special, and he didn't have long to wait. Well, this was a great shooter buck with a big, typical Kansas rack, and Scott knew if it got within range, he was going to try to take him. A few minutes later, he got his wish. Well, unfortunately, Scott's arrow clipped the edge of the blind and flew sideways out in front of the deer. Well, we've all been there. You know, bow hunting is not a controlled sport, and sometimes unforeseen things happen. But fortunately, the other deer seemed oblivious that anything had happened and went on about their business as usual. Well, normally you get only one chance at a big mature deer, but Scott sees this same buck moving through the area again, apparently unconcerned with that arrow that had flew by him. The next day, Scott gets a rare do-over on the same mature whitetail that he'd missed earlier. This time, Scott made it count.
This deer gave me an opportunity a couple of days earlier. First time ever I hit the blind. And thanks to HECS, I mean, one of the things, just didn't know what happened. He was back later that night. All it takes is a second and a half, and tried to put a good hit on him, and thankfully got him this morning.
Well, by using that deadly combination of the HECS suit paired with an ozonic unit, Scott was able to pop up his blind in an open grassy area along that deer trail and have deer totally ignore him. I think it's fair to say that HECS played a major role in allowing Scott to fill his tag with a bruiser Kansas whitetail. New for 2016, we are proud to bring you the new HECS base layer. The base layer is a lightweight semi-thermal product that's made to be worn under your other hunting clothing, but has the HECS technology and the HECS advantage woven right in.
The base layer is 3 pieces: shirt, pant, and the head cover. The shirt is a 1/4 zip Henley with a HECS logo embroidered. It does have serge stitching, also has thumb holes so it's easy to get on underneath your other clothing. The pants are basic long underwear type pants. They do have serge stitching throughout. Elastic bands on the top, elastic on the bottom. Very easy to use, comfortable to wear under any of your favorite hunting clothing. For those of you out there that's been asking for a little bit heavier HECS layer, this is the item for you. Check out the new HECS base layer, brand new from HECS for 2016. And finally, we have our HECS accessories. Our ball cap made out of the HECS material, lightweight, very comfortable, one of the most comfortable caps you'll ever wear. New for 2016 is our HECS socks. The socks are a heavyweight, over-the-calf sock, very durable. They're going to be nice to wear in any kind of hunting situation, and of course they have the HECS technology woven right in. The HECS gloves are a lightweight, stretchy material made for any hunting situation and are now available in mossy oak camo. HECS technology is found in dealer stores nationwide. Check out our website for a dealer listing near you. Or you can always order direct from HECSLLC.com. That's HECS LLC.com. Or call us direct at 541-575-HECS. That's 541-575-4327. You know, we have operators standing by, but we're very busy. If you get the answering machine, be sure to leave a message and leave your phone number, and we'll be sure to get right back to you and get the HECS suit on the way. HECS technology is changing the way people hunt nationwide and all around the world. Don't delay. Get online or give us a call today and get a HECS suit on the way. It's going to change the way you hunt.
If you order right now and enter the promo code PURSUIT, you'll save an instant $30 off your HECS suit.
As an added bonus, if you order right now, with each purchase of a complete HECS suit, you'll receive a certificate worth $250 off on a trip with Great Texas Hunts.
As you might expect, we get a lot of questions from hunters wanting to know if HECS is effective on whitetails. Well, this week's show proves that it is. From wary Texas brush country bucks to big Kansas giants, we show over and over that HECS technology allows you to get away with things that a lot of people would consider impossible. Well, if you haven't yet, try to HECS suit for yourself. Join the tens of thousands of hunters across the country who have. Pick up that phone, make the call, go to the website, but get a HECS suit on the way. Also, if you have a special hunter on your Christmas list, the HECS suit is the ultimate Christmas gift. We also have certificates available if you're unsure about the size. In the meantime, the HECS crew will be out pushing the limits and bringing it to you every week, right here on Hunting with HECS.
Closed captioning is provided by Connect to the Field, Scout, Plan, Connect. If you have a great HECS encounter that you'd like to share with us, please contact us through our website. If we use it on the air, you'll be entered to win a hunt with Great Texas Hunts. As an added bonus, with each HECS purchase, you'll receive a certificate worth $250 off on a trip with Great Texas Hunts. Get those pictures and video coming, and you could be the lucky winner of this great hunt. You can find out more on our website at HECSLLC.com.